So I'm here today with Sebastian Borek, who's the managing director of HTGF, which acts as a, how would you describe it, Sebastian? It's a CVC service for most of Germany's big corporations.
That's a little bit of my interpretation. We are one of the oldest and the largest seed funds in Germany, and we have close to 70 LPs. Many of them have also CVC ambition, and through us, they can satisfy their appetite for new innovation. And at the same time, we connect them with our portfolio and help them to integrate them on a business level. Sometimes they even acquire them. SAP just bought a company. We invested, they invested, and now they fully acquired them.
I think there's two remarkable things about it. One is that you have such a large number of the biggest and small and medium-sized German corporates who are LPs. So you're really covering a lot of the country's industrial base.
That's true. It's not enough. I wish it would be even more. But that's also the promise we give to our portfolio companies. Once they take a check from us, they know they really have the network in various industries.
We can hopefully double click on that in a moment in terms of how that connection with the companies works. But the other thing which is remarkable and unique is you're really looking at the very early stage companies. Am I right in thinking that?
That's our heritage. We started as a seed fund. We also now have an opportunity fund where we invest in the winners. And just recently, we integrated the Deep Tech and Climate Fund, that's a growth fund, into our platform. So now we are end-to-end and actually quite agnostic in terms of industries. A portfolio of over 370 active companies we invested in. And some are young and early. Some of them are already large corporations.
So it's really connecting a very large body of startups to a very large body of corporates. So what have you found is a good way to make those connections?
In the end, it comes down to people. It comes down to trust. It comes down to understanding what, let's say, the startups do, the technology can do, and understanding where it adds value and tangible value for the corporates. Just having a, great AI is interesting, but it need to quickly show benefits in the P&L. Sometimes it can be strategic, but I think what works best when we connect a startup that helps them to either save cost or become more productive or help them to enter new markets, like as an enabling acquisition.
And are you finding that quite a lot go on to have a relationship with one of your LPs? I appreciate they'll be very early stage at the beginning, so maybe that's not immediately possible. But as they grow, is that a very common outcome?
Yeah, you addressed an important point. The more mature the startup is, the easier it's adaptable towards the corporate partner. But again, everything depends. Some startups we invest and they never connect to our LPs and still become a unicorn. And others, they are fully integrated and we work with them even at a very early stage. In our due diligence, we ask our corporate partners, would this make sense? If somebody comes to have a new version of plastic, new material, said, yeah, this sounds good, but I'm not a chemical expert. And that comes quite handy. So they're very early on. And some of our LPs, especially Bosch, for example, they're very experienced to work with startups in the early phase. So it's even part of the R&D process. Others, it's more an investment and they like to sit on the sidelines, and once it's interesting, they might engage. So it depends.
So you have to tailor everything.
That's what I'm seeing. It's the most challenging thing. There's no secret sauce. We hope that AI helps in the matchmaking process a little bit, because almost 370 companies, you need to make sure where do they fit with yours.
Are you using any interesting applications?
Yes. We are actually started an AI lab or AI unit, and we're building products, investment products for our organization, and definitely products for value add, how we can connect interesting technical developments to various LPs. But I recently spoke with one LP, and he has also a large corporation with various divisions, totally different from each other. So he also doesn't know what his division needs. I mean, he can speak to them, but he said, I just ask AI and I looked at your portfolio and I found some interesting matches. So some of our LPs are actively using AI. And in this opportunity areas, we now want to build some products. I think it's good timing right now.
Yeah, I think there's a need for that, because what I've been hearing from people at this conference is that everybody's looking for a good solution. Haven't heard a lot of people who have something really workable today.
Exactly. It's there, but you need to spend the time, the resources. And we're actually doing this where we hired our two first AI engineers. I think there was a breakthrough, and they're just not also do AI. They purely do AI. We set up this department and we deploy enough capital in order to have the opportunity to build. And obviously the token cost. As I told our CFO, I said, hey, we need a new item line in the P&L. I said, what is it? It's token. What do you mean? Is it like internet connection? No, token. This is just going to be, it's going to be a lot in the future. Just tell you.
Yeah, the CFOs never really love that message. But listen, a lot of your whole career has been about trying to connect corporates to startups and vice versa in some format, right? Whether it's through conferences or working directly with these or as an entrepreneur yourself. What do you think you have learned about how to do this well?
It comes back to you. First of all, it's a trust, but you have to make the effort to understand both sides. In the end, it's the attitude. I think if it's a shared attitude, let's do things together. Let's create innovation. It's about people. In the end, it's so simple, but it's definitely about the people and everything else follows. People really want, they find a way. And there's a lot of people, sometimes they're hesitant. They don't really want because they're in an organization. They don't see the benefit. They see more risk than upside. At the same time, you have it on the startup side. You have a lot of very ambitious people. They just raised, 500 million round. They feel like they could walk on water. That's not the right attitude to work with the corporate. Curating this and creating an environment where you can learn from each other, I think is the key. But it's very difficult. You cannot scale.
It's an age-old problem because the problem with people has never really changed. But if you've looked also broadly at the industry, how much do you think has changed over the 20-odd years that you've been looking at this particular problem?
I remember I was there in the 90s. At that time, I worked, let's say, a consulting company, and we helped at that time companies to enter the World Wide Web. There was a time when there was still a debate, does it make sense to put our company information onto the World Wide Web? And nobody uses it right now. Yeah. And how does it look like? And debates, should we put on our commercial material, the WW? It doesn't look nice. I mean, we were there, right? And I think by now, and some people are still around, they know it changed everything. It changed the way they operate. Then we had the mobile, then we're at the cloud. And so I think we're still reluctant what's coming. So you not jump onto everything, but we understand that technology changes things. And there's a bigger, wider acceptance and openness. The CVC has been matured. They're very sophisticated people and they know how it works. And I think it's very important for every corporate to give equal importance to what you have. You one foot on the ground, but you also need to pivot into new opportunities. And I think most of people understood.
So thank you very much, Sebastian.
Thank you.
For the insights and best of luck with your plans to expand even further on HTGF.
Highly appreciate it.